Hi, I'm Rosen with Keller here in Chicago. One of the most common surprises for buyers is closing cost. Everyone knows about the down payment. You save, you plan, you expect it. But what often catches people off guard are all the extra fees you need to budget for on top of that. So today, let me walk you through exactly what you can expect when it comes to closing cost here in Chicago, what's included, and how much to realistically budget so you're not blindsided on closing day. Number one, lender fees. Let's start with lender fees because if you're financing your home, this is the very first category of closing costs you'll see. These are the charges from your mortgage lender to process, approve, and fund your loan. They usually include an application fee, underwriting fees, which cover the behind-the-scenes work to verify your financials, and an origination fee, which is essentially the lender's charge for creating your loan. Altogether, these costs typically run a half to a full percent of your loan amount. So let's use an example. If you're buying a $400,000 home with 10% down, your loan amount is $360,000. A 1% origination fee would be $3,600. The good news, not every lender charges all of these fees, and some are negotiable. That's why shopping around for a lender really matters, because even a 0.5% difference can save you thousands up front. Number two, title and attorney fees. Here in Illinois, having an attorney represent you at closing is not optional. It's standard practice, and honestly a great thing for buyers because it means you've got someone reviewing the contract, making sure all the paperwork is in order, and protecting your interests. Attorney fees typically run between $500 and $1,000. Then there's title insurance. Title insurance protects both you and your lender from any ownership disputes, liens, or legal claims that might pop up on the property later. And yes, it happens, even in new construction. For a typical transaction in Chicago, you can expect $1,000 to $1,500 for title insurance. So between attorney fees and title insurance, you're looking somewhere between $1,500 and $2,500 total. Number three, appraisal and inspection. Your lender will almost always require an appraisal, which is a professional opinion of the home's value to make sure the bank isn't lending more than the home is worth. Appraisals in Chicago typically cost about $500 to $700. Then there's the home inspection. While not legally required, I strongly recommend every buyer gets one. A home inspection gives you a detailed report on the property's condition from the roof to the furnace to the electrical system. It usually runs between $400 and $600. And trust me, spending a few $100s here can save you thousands down the road by identifying issues before you close. Number four, prepaid taxes and insurance. Now here's one that really catches people off guard, prepaid taxes and insurance. Most lenders will require you to set up an escrow account. That means at closing, you'll prepay a few months worth of property taxes and homeowner's insurance so the lender knows those bills are covered. In Chicago, that usually adds up to $2,000 to $4,000, depending on the price of the home and the neighborhood's tax rate. It feels like a surprise bill, but remember, this money is going towards expenses you'd be paying anyway, collected up front. Number five, recording and transfer fees. Another big chunk comes from recording and transfer fees. When you buy in the city of Chicago, you'll be responsible for the city transfer tax. Buyer pays $7.50 per $1,000 of the purchase price. So on that $400,000 condo we've been using as our example, that's about $3,000 right there. You may see smaller recording fees that will cover the official filing of your deed and mortgage with the county. Number six, the total range. So let's pull it all together. When you add up the lender fees, attorney and title charges, appraisal and inspection, prepaid taxes and insurance, and those city transfer fees, closing costs in Chicago typically run between 2 and 5% of the purchase price. For a $400,000 home, that's anywhere from $8,000 on the low end to $20,000 on the high end. And that's why it's so important to factor closing costs into your budget from day one, not just the down payment. So next time you're planning to buy, don't just save for the down payment, build in the cushion for closing costs too. The last thing I want is for my clients to fall in love with a home only to be shocked by the extra costs at the closing table. My job is to make sure you're prepared for every dollar, every step of the way, so nothing comes as a surprise. I'm Rosen with Keller Williams in Chicago, and if you're starting your home search, let's sit down together and run through the numbers so you feel confident and prepared from the beginning.